Can you just talk about this Bengals defense? When you look at all the numbers are just so horrible. But, what's your view of this defense and what are you guys up against?
Well, I think they play fast and they're physical, good size, good length up front. I don't really get into numbers too much. I mean, if you just go off strictly numbers, that could be skewed by one game or a couple of games or whatever. But I certainly don't expect anything but the best out of them. To hear everybody tell it we've played the best or the worst defenses, it continues to go over and over and over again. But at the end of the day, those guys are going to play hard and they're going to be physical and they're going to come to play.
Would you like to joke about any wrinkle you're going to add?
Well, I'm not going to do it anymore. You guys didn't believe me last time, so I tried to tell you guys, but you wouldn't believe me. But y'all thought it was a joke, but I don't know.
Rashard Perriman historically hasn't played well, but he's been catching the ball for you better. So why is that?
I'm not sure. I mean, Rashad's put in a lot of work after practice, before practice, in the playbook, in the meeting rooms, and things like that. So he's been a very nice surprise for us since we've had him. And I don't go off what he does with everybody else. I only go off what I see on tape. I learned that a long time ago. You can't really take opinions from other people. You just got to see what they say on tape and then go from there.
Have you had to adjust anything or tweak anything this week because he was on the other side with a lot of knowledge about what you guys do?
No. No, sir.
We've asked everybody so far. It's our first chance to talk to you. Is that going to be strange to see him on that sideline, or do you have any feelings about it at all?
No, I mean, I'm happy that he's down there coaching and whatever he felt like he needed to do as far as that's concerned. But I came here, in January with you, so I'm happy for him. Football coaches coach, and he's coaching, and that's great. But as far as what we've changed, we haven't changed anything.
You talked about that full house backfield. Why did you go with it that week, and is it something that you can use going forward?
Well, I think definitely. I'm not going to tell you this week now, but I'm just kidding. Yeah, we're going to use it. We're going to use it probably 45 to 50 plays this week, and we're going to go with it and see what happens. But they, it's just an opportunity to get some of our good players on the field, and they deserve to play too. And as long as they're making plays and stuff, we're going to use it.
When you asked Duke to run those options, I think he said he hadn't done that before. So how much do you have to go over with him, and I guess what are the key points as far as when do you have to get rid of it and when to hang on to it?
Yeah, they're that's one of those things where you can either do it or you can't. And usually, quarterbacks in college football, sometimes can do it and sometimes they can't. But we repped it a couple of times and during the course of the week and kind of kept it under routes for a couple of weeks. So we felt like it was ready to go, so we went with it.
Specifically, Carlos Dunlap and Geno Atkins, what makes those guys good and tough to handle?
Well, I think their size, their speed, their ability to have instinct toward the football. They always seem to be like they're around the football. And, those guys play hard, and they seem to always make plays.
Chubb had a big game. That was his best game against the Falcons, including that long run. How have you seen him get better since he's been starting for you?
Well, I think playing quarterback is playing running back is a little bit like playing quarterback, where they, they got to continue to see pictures and see what different teams are doing against them and things like that. And I think his vision's always been good. Sometimes as a running back, fast is not always best, and I think that's what he's learned. He's learned how to run the ball in this league. Sometimes you can just outrun guys in college. You can't outrun them all the time here in this league. You can once you get an open field, but you can't just go through a hole from straight speed. You got to make sure you're setting up blocks and things like that, and that's probably what he's done more than anything.
If you call that play from the 8, are you thinking it can go 92 yards there?
I'm a little different. Every play I call, I think, can go the distance, but not because of the play called. It's because of the players that we have and their execution. Sometimes coaches like to take a little bit too much credit for the execution portion of the game, but again, I said a few weeks ago, these guys will make me look good or they'll make me look bad. And I can take either one of them. I just want them to succeed. At some point, these guys deserve to succeed. And I think we've been on the right track for the last couple of weeks, and I hope it continues this week.
Well, can you talk about Baker Mayfield's demeanor during the game and what you've experienced now that you're working directly with him? We caught a glimpse of it in that mic'd up, which I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it was just a great cut up of just how funny he is and confident in the things that he says. What's he like during a game?
Yeah, he thinks he's a lot more funny than he really is. But, no, I mean, I think, what you see is what you get with Baker, and that's what is such a pleasure on being around him. He's a good guy. He's a great competitor, and he's very talented. So you need to package all that together and do things that he does well at this moment, at this present time, what he does well, and that's what we've tried to do. As far as the mentality of who approaches the game, he approaches the game like it's his last play, every time. And in a lot of ways, that's the way a quarterback needs to play.
At this point, what's your assessment of Mayfield's play and his future relative to his height? And one thing that's come to mind for me is it looked like Colt McCoy was on the short side when you watch that game.
I think that gets a lot of times too much credit as far as people evaluate that too much. Either they can play or they can't, and he can play. And I think it's our job to put him in position to succeed. And he has to do a good job of continuing to get better and keeping his head down and working and see where he's at the end of the year and not worry about on a rep-to-rep basis or a game-to-game basis. Let's just keep our head down and work and see where we're at. And I think he's done a great job of that.
What was he able to do so well against the Falcons? Especially, he started 13 for 13, I think, and it felt like that was the best game he's played up there.
Yeah, well, I think he was seeing things. He knew where his eyes was, and a lot of times quarterbacks got to know where they're looking before they can make the right read. It just doesn't happen, and he has to know where his eyes go for a particular play, and he did a great job of doing that.